talking about discouragement that comes through delay. Now, one of the main tactics of the enemy is that when you are praying for something, he will try and bring discouragement in what feels like delay. But you got to remember, just like in the book of Daniel, when Daniel prayed, God heard him as soon as he prayed. But there was a delay to the answer to his prayer because there was a spiritual warfare going on in the heavens. That's why it's important to remember that sometimes when you're seeing delay to your prayers, don't take it personal. God did hear you, but there is a spiritual battle that we are living in. But, according to 1 John 4:4, you are from God, little children, and you have conquered them, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. That's why it's important to remember that even though the enemy may be against you, greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I also want to take a look at this other verse here, Luke 10:19, where Jesus says, "Look, I have given you the authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing will ever harm you." So if Jesus has given us the authority to crush darkness, then keep praying and don't worry about a little bit of delay, and don't allow the enemy to sneak in with discouragement. Know that God is for you, he loves you, and he's not against you. So keep praying and declaring for what you're asking for. And especially this next verse right here. In Matthew 7:7-8, it says, "Keep asking and it will be given to you. Keep searching and you will find. Keep knocking and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who searches finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be open." So even though it seems like you have to persist in prayer, know that God hears your prayer and he will answer it. But the enemy is doing everything in his power to stop it. But you have been given authority by God to stop the tactics of the enemy. We'll look at this other verse here. Ephesians 6 says, "Finally be strengthened by the Lord and by his vast strength." Because in this spiritual warfare, you need God's strength. You can't do it in your own strength. And then it says, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the tactics of the devil." One of the tactics of the devil that we're talking about today is discouragement. So don't be discouraged in the fight. Next verse is, "For our battle is not against flesh and blood." It's not against people, but it's against the rulers, against the authorities, against the world powers of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavens. We are fighting a spiritual war. That is why it's called spiritual warfare. We're not fighting against people. In the last verse here, "This is why you must take up the full armor of God, so that you may be able to resist in the evil day, and having prepared everything to take your stand." It's important that you are fully dressed for battle, that you don't succumb to discouragement in the midst of delay, and it's important that you receive God's strength and his help to keep praying and keep fighting the good fight of faith. And just like Daniel, we are not going to be discouraged in the delay. We will keep praying what God said to pray, and you will have your breakthrough and your answer. The Bible says in Romans 8:37, "Yet even in the midst of all these things, we triumph over them all, for God has made us to be more than conquerors, and his demonstrated love is a glorious victory over everything." So don't be discouraged in the waiting. You are more than victorious through Jesus.